Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo Your English. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ryan. So, Emily, I was thinking, today's episode is going to be one of the most useful ones we've ever done.
I completely agree. This is essential for anyone who wants to have real conversations in English.
See what she just did there? I completely agree. That's exactly what we're covering today.
We're diving deep into expressions for agreeing and disagreeing, the phrases that make conversations flow naturally and help you sound diplomatic, polite, and confident.
Because here's the thing, saying yes or no all the time makes you sound robotic. Native speakers have dozens of ways to express agreement and disagreement.
And knowing these expressions isn't just about vocabulary, it's about nuance, tone, and social skills in English.
Whether you're in a business meeting, chatting with friends, or debating with your family, you need to know how to agree and disagree appropriately.
So buckle up, this is going to be a long one, but by the end, you'll have a complete toolkit of expressions for every situation. Let's start with the basics. Simple agreement. Emily, what are the most common ways to say yes, I agree?
The simplest is just I agree, but native speakers add words for emphasis or softness.
I totally agree. I completely agree. I absolutely agree. These show strong agreement.
I couldn't agree more. This is emphatic. You agree so much that it's impossible to agree more than you already do.
Exactly. This is super common. It means, yes, that's precisely right.
Absolutely. Another strong agreement. Should we leave now? Absolutely.
Definitely. Similar to absolutely. Do you think we should try that restaurant? Definitely.
For sure. Very casual, especially common in American English. Are you coming tonight? For sure.
That's true, or that's right. These acknowledge that someone has made a valid point.
You're absolutely right, or you're totally right. These give credit to the other person.
Now, let's talk about casual agreement, the phrases you use with friends in relaxed situations.
Yeah, totally. Very casual and enthusiastic.
I know, right? This is huge in casual conversation. It shows you agree and share the same feeling.
I know, right? Tell me about it. This means I completely understand because I've experienced the same thing.
For example, someone says, traffic is terrible today, and you respond, tell me about it. It took me an hour to get here.
You can say that again. Another way of saying I strongly agree with what you just said.
Preach! Very informal, often used humorously, it means yes, speak the truth.
Amen to that. Similar meaning, showing strong agreement with enthusiasm.
No doubt. Casual agreement meaning without question, I agree.
Fair enough. This shows you accept someone's point, even if you're not enthusiastically agreeing.
It's like saying, okay, I can see your reasoning. It's a mild agreement or acceptance. Now let's discuss partial agreement. When you agree with part of what someone said, but not everything.
This is so important. You don't want to fully agree or fully disagree. You need middle ground.
I see what you mean, but this acknowledges their point before introducing your different perspective.
That's true to some extent, but you're agreeing partially while showing there's more to consider.
I agree up to a point, but similar structure. Partial agreement followed by your caveat.
You have a point, however, you're giving credit to their argument before presenting a counter-argument.
I partly agree with you, but direct and honest about partial agreement.
Yes and no. Very casual way to show mixed feelings. Do you like your job? Yes and no. Some days are great, others not so much.
Kind of or sort of. These show hesitant or partial agreement.
Do you think he's right? Kind of, but I'm not totally convinced.
Now here's where it gets really important. Polite disagreement. This is crucial for professional settings and maintaining good relationships.
Right. You can't just say, no, you're wrong. That's too direct and can damage relationships.
Let's start with the softest, most diplomatic expressions for disagreeing.
I see what you're saying, but I think this validates their opinion before offering yours.
I understand your point, however, similar, you're showing respect before disagreeing.
That's a good point, but have you considered you acknowledge their idea before introducing another perspective?
I see it differently. This is neutral and non-confrontational. You're not saying they're wrong, just that you have a different view.
I'm not sure I agree with that. The "I'm not sure" softens the disagreement.
I'm afraid I have to disagree. The I'm afraid makes it apologetic and polite.
Actually, I think actually here introduces a correction or different view gently.
I beg to differ. Very formal and polite. You might use this in academic or professional debates.
With all due respect, I disagree. This shows you respect them while disagreeing with their idea.
Be careful with this one though, because it can sound sarcastic if your tone is wrong.
True, tone matters so much with these expressions.
I'm not convinced that. This shows skepticism without being aggressive.
I have my doubts about that. Similar, expressing uncertainty about their claim.
Now let's talk about direct disagreement, when you need to be clear and firm, but still professional.
These are stronger than the soft disagreements, but still not rude.
I disagree. Simple and direct. Not rude, just honest.
I don't think so. Clear disagreement without aggression.
That's not quite right. You're pointing out an error politely.
Actually, that's not the case. You're correcting misinformation.
I'm afraid that's not accurate. Polite but firm correction.
I don't see it that way at all. Strong disagreement while remaining professional.
Now, what about casual disagreement with friends? You can be more direct here.
Right, with friends, you don't need to be as careful with softening language.
No way. Very casual, expressing disbelief or disagreement.
Are you serious or are you kidding me? These show you strongly disagree or are surprised.
I don't think so. More emphatic than I don't think so, without the exclamation.
That's not true. Direct and casual. Fine with friends, too blunt for professional settings.
Come on. Shows disagreement with a tone of be reasonable or you can't really believe that.
Yeah, right. This is sarcastic. It actually means I don't believe you at all.
Be very careful with this one. It's sarcastic and can be rude.
Whatever. Very casual, sometimes dismissive. Use carefully as it can sound rude.
If you say so. This implies you disagree, but you're not going to argue. It can sound passive-aggressive.
Now let's talk about phrases for showing you understand someone's point, even if you disagree.
This is essential for constructive conversations and debates.
I see where you're coming from, but shows empathy before disagreeing.
I understand your perspective, however, acknowledges their viewpoint respectfully.
I can see why you'd think that, but validates their reasoning before offering a different view.
From your point of view, that makes sense, but from mine, acknowledges different perspectives exist.
That's one way to look at it. Another way is presents alternatives without dismissing their view.
Let's practice some dialogues showing these expressions in context. I'll start with the workplace scenario.
Perfect.
So, Ryan, I think we should postpone a project deadline by 2 weeks.
I see where you're coming from, but I'm not sure that's the best solution. What if we just adjust the scope instead?
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that option.
Exactly. We could focus on the essential features first.
I completely agree. That's a much better approach.
Great. Notice how we used softening language, acknowledged each other's points, and reached agreement?
Exactly. That's how professional discussions should flow. Now let's try a casual conversation between friends.
Okay, so Emily, that new superhero movie was amazing, right?
I don't know. I wasn't that impressed, honestly.
Really? Come on, the special effects were incredible.
I mean, yeah, the effects were good, but the story was kind of weak.
I see what you mean. The plot was a bit predictable.
Right? That's exactly what bothered me.
Fair enough. I guess I just enjoyed it for the action scenes.
That's fair. To each their own.
Perfect example of casual disagreement that stays friendly.
Now let's discuss expressions for when you're neutral or uncertain. You don't want to agree or disagree strongly.
I'm not sure about that. Shows uncertainty without commitment.
It's hard to say. You're being non-committal.
I haven't really thought about it. an honest way to avoid taking a position.
I'm on the fence about that. You're undecided, could go either way.
I can see both sides. You acknowledge valid points on both sides of an argument.
That's debatable. Suggests the issue isn't clear-cut.
It depends. Your agreement depends on specific circumstances or conditions.
These are great for when you need more information or time to form an opinion. Now let's talk about strong disagreement, when you really need to make your opposition clear.
Now, use these carefully. They are powerful and can escalate conflicts if not used appropriately.
I completely disagree. Clear and strong, but still professional.
That's absolutely wrong. Very strong. Use when facts are incorrect.
I couldn't disagree more. The opposite of I couldn't agree more. Maximum disagreement.
That's simply not true. Firm rejection of a false statement.
I'm totally opposed to that idea. Show strong disagreement with the proposal.
No, that's not acceptable. Clear boundary setting in professional contexts.
These should be reserved for important issues where you need to be very clear about your position.
Absolutely. Don't use these lightly or in minor disagreements.
Let's discuss cultural considerations because agreeing and disagreeing varies across cultures.
Great point. In some cultures, direct disagreement is considered rude or confrontational.
Right. If you're from a culture that values indirect communication, English might seem very direct.
And if you're from a very direct culture, English softening language might seem unnecessary or even insincere.
In English-speaking cultures, especially American and British, we value politeness and diplomacy while still being clear.
We use softening language not to be dishonest, but to maintain relationships while expressing different views.
It's about being assertive without being aggressive. Now let's talk about body language and tone, because these matter as much as the words you use.
Absolutely. The same words can sound polite or rude depending on your tone.
I disagree. Said with a smile and calm tone is professional. Said with an angry face and sharp tone, it's hostile.
Eye contact, facial expressions, and body posture all communicate your attitude.
Nodding while someone speaks shows you're listening, even if you plan to disagree.
Leaning forward shows engagement. Crossing your arms can seem defensive.
These nonverbal cues support your words and help prevent misunderstandings.
Let's do a comprehensive practice scenario. I'll propose something controversial and let's have a full discussion using various expressions.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so Emily, I think all university education should be completely free, funded by taxpayers.
That's an interesting point. I can see why you'd argue that. Education is important for society.
Exactly. Everyone deserves access to higher education.
I see where you're coming from, but I'm not entirely convinced that's the best approach.
Really? Why not?
Well, I have my doubts about whether completely free education is sustainable. The costs would be enormous.
That's true to some extent, but other countries manage it successfully.
You have a point. However, those countries often have higher taxes and smaller populations.
Fair enough, but don't you think the benefits outweigh the costs?
I'm not sure about that. I think there might be better solutions like income-based repayment or subsidized education for certain fields.
I see what you mean. That's actually a good middle ground.
Right? It addresses access while being financially realistic.
I partly agree with you. I still think more funding is needed, but your approach is more practical.
Exactly. We can agree that education access is important while differing on the implementation.
Perfect. Did everyone catch all those expressions? We used soft disagreement, acknowledgement, partial agreement, and reached common ground.
That's how constructive discussions work in English. You can disagree respectfully and still maintain a good relationship. Now let's give you some homework. This week, practice these expressions in real conversations.
Start with the softer, safer ones, like I see what you mean, but, or that's a good point, however.
Pay attention to how native speakers agree and disagree in shows, movies, and podcasts.
Notice which expressions are used in formal versus casual settings.
And remember, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Tone and body language matter.
Practice in front of a mirror or with a language partner. Get comfortable with these phrases.
Let's do a quick summary of key expressions by category.
Strong agreement. I completely agree. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Exactly.
Casual agreement. I know, right? Tell me about it. You can say that again. For sure.
Partial agreement. I see what you mean, but that's true to some extent. You have a point, however.
Polite disagreement. I see it differently. I'm not sure I agree. I'm afraid I have to disagree.
Direct disagreement. I disagree. That's not quite right. I don't see it that way.
Casual disagreement? No way. Are you serious? I don't think so. Come on.
Strong disagreement. I completely disagree. I couldn't disagree more. That's absolutely wrong.
Neutral responses, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. I can see both sides. It depends.
Master these categories and you'll be equipped for any conversation in English.
One final tip, don't be afraid to disagree. Having your own opinion and expressing it respectfully is valued in English-speaking cultures.
Absolutely. Being agreeable doesn't mean agreeing with everything. It means expressing disagreement diplomatically.
Being assertive while remaining polite is a skill worth developing.
And remember, these expressions work in both American and British English, though some casual ones are more common in one than the other.
Practice makes perfect. The more you use these expressions, the more natural they'll become.
Thanks so much for sticking with us through this longer episode. We hope you found it incredibly useful.
If you did, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and let us know in the comments which expression you'll try first.
And tell us, do you find it easy or difficult to disagree in English? We'd love to hear your experiences.
Keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, disagreement is healthy when done respectfully.
See you next time.